Hey everybody, it's your girl Nell and welcome to Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. This is a Dreadlock love video, baby. You know what time it is. It's that time where we talk about all things dreadlock and we also we celebrate dreadlocks. And this is my 21st year. I think it is. Excuse me. This is my 21st year of wearing dreads. Oh, I have something in my nose. This is terrible. Let me just get this wipe here. I know you're like, what are you doing, Nell? But listen, sometimes you gotta get the stuff when you can get it. I know you're probably saying, what is going on? But listen, I'd rather get it now than watch this video later and then I see it on my big screen in my great room. That's not gonna be cool. So I had to get it, girl. I had to get it. Or get it. I had to get it. So anyhow, this is a dreadlock love video, baby. You know what time it is. And today I want to show you something. This is my lock. This is the second lock that fell out. Now, remember I told you in another video that I felt that there were two locks in my head that was thinning or on my head that were thinning, and one fell out because before I was able to get to it, and the other one, okay, I called myself trying to interlock it, but it didn't work out. So, I woke up one morning and my lock was on the pillow. And I was like, what's that? It was my lock. So what I want to do today is I want to give you, show you the anatomy of a lock, especially a lock that thins and is in the process of just completely breaking off. And these are some things that I learned about lock maintenance and care. And I hope that this video will give you some type of, will help you and assist you if you experience thinning and lock breakage. Now, as I said before, there are many reasons why why they thin and eventually break off. It could be a situation where it's medication that you're taking that could cause thinning. It could be an illness, a sickness, or a disease that could cause thinning. It could be the lack of vitamins and minerals that would be sufficient to grow a healthy set of locks. It could be also the products that you use. It could be that causes breakage or causes thinness, dryness, the feel of brittleness on your locks. It could be that when it comes to chemicals and hair products, it could be that you decided to color or dye your hair with permanent coloring, over-the-counter coloring, or coloring that was done by your cosmetologist. That can be pretty harsh, and it can also cause thinning and breakage. So there are a number of reasons why your hair can experience thinning and eventual breakage. Now, in my situation, here's my lock, and as you can see, it more than likely came from the back because it's the same length as the rest of my locks, so it more than likely came from the back. So I want to show you what it looks like. So here's here's the healthy part of my lock. As you'll see, this is healthy. It's healthy. It's a little thinning right here, just a little bit of thinning, and then it just continues to thin until we have this situation. Look at that. Now notice the way that it was healthy, and then notice how it began to thin. So I asked myself, Nell, what was going on in your life when all of this major thinning began to occur? Now let's see how many inches that is. Let's see. And that'll give me a good idea of how this story began. Okay, look what I have. I have measuring tape. And I'm going to measure the thinness from the tip to the tip or where it actually broke off from my scalp to where I believe the thinning began. Okay. So I'll let you see what's going on here. Okay. So the thinning began here, which is what, 4 inches? Okay, well, let me see how long is this. Let me see how long this lock is first. Okay, my lock is about I sound like my husband. Okay, let me put this down here. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. My lock is, let's see, 40. This lock is 43 inches long. Okay. Which is about, let's see, 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this lock is about 44 inches long. And it began to break off. Let's see at what point it began to thin around, let's see, looks like about 2 inches, 3 inches maybe. 3. Yes, so that's 3. About 3 inches. It's about 3 or 4 inches of thinning. So I had to ask myself, what was going on in my life where my hair was thinning like this? What exactly made my lock go from here and then end up here? So, and this is what you should do as well. If you lose a lock, sit down and look at your lock, examine it, and try to, well, ask yourself a question. Ask yourself a series of questions. And just as I have, what was going on right here that caused my lock to thin and eventually break off? What was going on? So one of the things that was going on with me is that I realized that I was having a vitamin and mineral deficiency. And I began to really recognize that maybe my last physical was in April. And that's when I became aware that I had a vitamin deficiency and mineral deficiency. And it's due to the fact that I am in the throes of menopause. So I am going through and experiencing a lot of changes as a woman, as a Black woman. And so one of those changes that I've been experiencing is a deficiency in a lot of different nutrients. And being that I am on a serious weight loss journey, I have, been losing a lot of the vitamins and the minerals that I need to sustain myself to be healthier, a healthier Nell. I am, losing it. So I need to replenish it. So I was placed on a multivitamin for women over 50, and then I have been doing other things such as eating more vegetables, but now I am juicing a lot of vegetables that have the vitamins that I need, and I'm supplementing my intake or my food consumption with more of the added nutrients that my body needs. So there's one thing. The other thing is I am a semi-freeform dreadlock diva. And so what that means is I do not use any gels. I do not retwist I shouldn't say gels because I do use a gel. I make my own gel, but in my own hair potions. But what I mean is I don't retwist my hair. So I just let my hair grow. And sometimes when my hair grows, well, of course, as a dreadlock diva, when it grows together and it begins to interlock into one another. And so every 3 to 6 months when I wash my hair, I separate my locks. And the reason I do that is because what I've noticed with my grade of hair, when my hair becomes interlocked like that, a lot of weight and tension is placed on the body of my lock, and that causes thinning. So I know this already to be a certainty. So I have not only the vitamin and mineral deficiency going on here, but I also have some some cons of being a freeformer. Now, what I could have done is I could have left it as I eventually did. I did continue to allow it to grow into its neighboring lock, but because the thinning was so extensive and had become so extensive, then it eventually broke off on its own. Now, what should you do if you have a lock that's thinning? Now, what I had learned from other YouTubers was that you should tie your hair into a knot. And after you tie your hair into a knot where it is thinning, then you'll be good. But is that so? No, because I've done that before. I have had thinning locks when due to over processing with bleaches and dyes, and I have tied a knot into my locks and to keep the inevitable from happening. And what eventually did occur happened to me is that I caused more stress and tension on my scalp and on the follicle of my lock, which caused more thinning and eventual breakage. And so what happens is you just tied a knot in the spot where there's some thinning. And as the lock continues to grow, the place where it was thinning, you have a knot there. And so what you have done is you've created more stress. You've created weight here that's going to pull on your follicle or the scalp where this lock originates. So what you have effectively done is you think that you've done a good thing by tying a knot in your lock, but what you've actually done is you have created more thinnage. So eventually, what's going to happen is the lock is going to fall. And if you do this all over your head, what you're going to have is or are locks with lots of bumps in them. And this is what the bump will look like. And that's not good. That's not good at all. And it'll get to the point where all of your locks will be thin because you have decided to, or your loctician has decided to tie or to make a knot around the area where your locks have been thinning or are thinning. So what I have learned in my 21 years as a loctician and just a lock diva, a Loch Nessa queen, what I've learned is that if I'm having some thinning, one, I may go ahead and interlock, or two, I may just decide to leave it alone. And if it's going to fall, it's going to fall. That's it. Now, I see a lot of people who, what do you do after you lose a lock? Should you go ahead and form another lock? I could do that. I could just go ahead and take another lock of hair, take some strands of hair that's back here in the back. That's back here in the back. That's here in the back of my head. I could take that, and I could take this lock, and I could take some flaxseed gel, and I could somehow integrate the lock into or form a new lock with the lock that I lost, which I kind of did right here. I could do that and continue and carry on as if nothing happened. I could do that, which is so funny. My hair is so funny in that way. I really could do that. I really just did do that. I could incorporate it back into my hair and, just watch as you see I did. And just be like, doody doody doo doo, and go on about my business. I could do that. However, what I have decided to do is I'm going to burn this lock of hair, because that's what we crones do. I'm going to burn this lock of hair because, of course, I do not want my lock of hair to get into the wrong hands. So I am going to burn my hair, and I'm going to blow the ashes into the breeze, into nature. And I am not going to incorporate it back in my head. Why is that? Well, one reason, the main reason, is because I believe our locks hold energy. And sometimes when a lock decides that it no longer wants to be a part of the pack anymore, or no longer wants to be in a group, or has died out, thinned out, phased out, perhaps it should not be replaced. And I'm going to get into some interesting territory right here. Listener beware. When something has used or has become has reached the limits of its usefulness, you have to let it go. And being that I believe that locks hold energy, I believe that locks, sometimes things happen for a reason. Well, all things happen for a reason. So I'm not going to replace this or put this back in my head, because this is energy. This is energy that has fallen away from the source, and there's no need for me to replace it or put it back there. There's no need to put in what could possibly be benign energy, wasted energy. There's no need for me to place something that is devoid of the kind of energy that I want and that I need. There's no need to put that back on my head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn it and say a prayer over it and cast it to the wind, cast it back to nature, and let it do its thing out there. That's what I'm going to do. I just feel that, and you see this sometimes. You see this sometimes on social media. You see people who decide that they want to, for whatever reason, cut their locks, and so the loctician or whoever will cut their locks, put it in the bag for them, and then later on they'll say, "Well, I'm ready to wear locks again. Here's a bag of locks." No, you don't do that. In my opinion, you shouldn't do that. Just grow a new set of locks. Just grow a new set of locks. That's all. That's all you really need to do. Why would you put something that is basically dead back on top of your head? I don't know. But I believe that dreads, to me and for me, is about energy. It's about being connected with the universe. It's about, hold on for a minute. My lighting just went out. Oh, sorry about that. I tell you, it's always something. I'm in a tiny studio. I'm not just a videographer. I'm the lighting person. I'm the sound audio person. I'm the makeup person. I'm the hairstylist. I am all of those things here in the tiny studio. It's the truth. It's the truth. But like I said, it's important that we understand that hair is energy. Hair is life. So if a lock decides that it wants to remove itself from the collective, then no, you should not replace. You should not put it back. You should not put that piece of dead energy or benign energy back onto your scalp, because it will, let's see, it will serve as possibly a blockage towards the energy that, or the good energy or the positive energy that you want to, you want your locks to absorb, therefore absorb and become part of you. Does that make sense to you? That's why I don't. That's why I don't think it's a good idea to take locks, to take, or even to allow a loctician to put someone else's locks in your hair. Don't do that either. I've seen that happen as well, where people will come in and want to have want a set of locks, and people, cosmetologists or lockologists, will have a bag of locks that they, another client or whomever may have decided to cut their locks, and the person may the cosmetologist or the loctician may put that person's cut locks onto their clients' hair. That's not good either, because this is about energy. You don't want to put someone else's energy and everything that's wrapped up in it on top of your head, because that can cause a lot of stress, but most importantly, that'll cause a lot of spiritual blockage. So you don't want that. You follow me? So that was my anatomy of a lock. And this is the second one. Because remember, I said there were two, I had two thinning locks. So the first one fell maybe about 2 months ago or so, and this one fell. Oh, and there was another reason why this lock is the way that it is. The thinning also goes into the reasoning behind the thinning of my locks is when my husband was battling breast cancer, and really in the throes of it. You remember I said that I really wasn't doing anything with my hair. I kept it locked. I kept it in a scarf. I kept it in a head scarf, or I wore my Rasta hats a lot, and I really didn't do anything. I just let it grow. I didn't do anything. I put some rose water on it, and I spritz a little hemp oil on it or coconut oil, and I kept it moving. I really didn't do too much, and that's the reason. Another reason why this lock experienced the thinning that it did. All of those things more than likely tied into it. Vitamin and mineral deficiency, menopause, the fact that I didn't pay any attention to it while my husband was, while our family was fighting for one of our members' life. So those are the things you need to really ask yourself. Ask yourself when your locks fall, when they thin. Really do an introspective. Do a really good introspective look at where you were at the time that the thinning began and ended. So my locks are my hair is doing really well. As I said, I'm on a vitamin regimen, and they look very healthy. I don't have any other spots of thinning. As you see, everything is pretty healthy, growing very well. In the next week or so, I'll be washing it and putting it in plaits, because I'll be going home to Detroit on vacation soon. Well, next month, and I want to have curls, so I will be washing this and plaiting it. And besides, it'll be 6 months since I last washed my hair. Won't it? I think it will. It'll be about 6 months since the last time I washed my hair, so it's time. So it's time for me to get in here and do some work. And I have another video coming up where I talk about why I use Dr. Bronner's peppermint oil soap. But my hair is feeling pretty good. I'm putting my hand in it, and it feels pretty good. As I put my hand into my scalp, I feel growth. I feel a jungle in there, which is good. Which is really good, because I know that with menopause come a lot of different, not only just, bodily changes, but I know my hair is going to change. So, thank you. Oh, excuse me. Thank you so much for joining me in the tiny studio today. And if you have any questions or comments about dreadlocks, locks, or whatever it is that you're growing from your head right now, please do not hesitate to drop in the comment section and ask me a question, and maybe I'll be able to answer it. Oh, excuse me. In another video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time here in the tiny studio. Bye-bye.